Welcome back to another episode of Becoming a Practical Machinist. I'm Kurtis of Mil-Spec Manufacturing. Now before we get any further, why don't you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss an episode. Let's get into it. Now when starting your small CNC shop, one of the biggest decisions you'll have is if you want to finance a brand new machine or go with a used machine and pay cash for it. Now, us here at Mil-Spec Manufacturing, we went with the used route to keep our overhead low to insulate ourselves from the economy. So no matter what happened, we would be okay. Now, if you've been following our story, you would know that I actually found this machine on Marketplace and bought it for $10,000. The gentleman that was selling this machine to me was very cool. He actually held on to this machine until I could fly out to Tennessee to physically test this machine out and make sure that it did everything that it was supposed to. And also finding out about all the upgrades and history that this machine has. From the expanded memory and floppy emulator to the USB connect, the LCD screen, rigid tapping, the stainless steel way covers, and the high intensity lighting. It made me feel more comfortable, as well as it being a VF4 with a huge work envelope and a pallet changer. It already sets me above those other CNC startup shops that have small machines and a small table, which this allows me to have a much bigger opportunity of work to come in. Now, I've been machining with this machine full time for just under a year. And I love it, okay? But there is some things I'm noticing, some little things that I'm noticing that are causing me to lose my competitive edge because of it being an older machine. And let me break it down to you, and we'll go step by step, and we'll start with programming. Now, you've probably seen these on our previous videos and didn't know what they are. But let me explain what they are. This right here is a USB connect, and it has a port that is directly connected to the back of my machine, so I can use a flash drive and put it directly into the memory of the machine. Now, before that was this USB flash drive floppy emulator. Okay, when these machines came out, they had a floppy drive. Granted, the emulator isn't much better because you're still limited to that 1.34 or 39 megabytes file size at a time on here. And to do that, you have to turn the machine off. For me, at least, every time you want to upload a file, and it takes a while to upload files. And even with this machine being as old as it is too, this USB connect, yes, it doesn't matter the file size, you could still download it, but you are still limited to the speed of the processor inside this machine. And let me tell you, like some of the stuff that I've worked on, doing pockets and whatnot, that it gets complex, okay? I could literally go to start a download on this USB connect, and it would take almost an hour to download one program. And that's just one program. So for this being an old machine, me having to deal with that, I have to go find something to do, break down tools, set up tools while this does that. Or program in quote parts while this is just downloading the program for an hour. And that's time, all right? In this industry, time is money, okay? And newer machines, you could literally just plug it right in, and half the time it doesn't matter the file size, it downloads within minutes. Now, another issue I'm coming across is this old girl, she doesn't have a probe system or a tool setter. And that's where I'm losing a competitive edge as well. With having to touch off all tools manually, and then also having to touch off work offsets manually that, take a couple minutes each time, even creating stops and whatnot. And that time, say you got like a 100-piece order, I mean, that all adds up. 100-piece, 1,000-piece order, it really adds up, and time is money in this game. And I looked at getting a probe for this machine, and I got quoted between $8,000 to $12,000 to get it in here. But even then, putting the probe system in this machine, I would have to put macro files into the hard drive, into the memory unit, and it would take up more space, which it's already limited because of its age. All right. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, and I would also be limited to file sizes that could be put on there and how many programs that I could be put onto what's left of the hard drive. After that, I'd have to drip feed everything, and everybody knows that's a nightmare and a half. And the next thing is spindle speed and max feed rate. For this machine from 98, it has a 2-speed gearbox. Now, low gears, that's fine. All right, she does whatever you want her to do. But when you get up into the high RPMs, this thing tops out at 7,500 for the spindle in this machine. Okay, now you ain't gonna be running small tools really fast, doing surfacing and all that very fast like what you can with newer machines. Newer machines come with like an 8,000 plus spindle speed. All right, there's spindles out there that go 15, 30,000 and all that. So, and like I was saying about feed rates as well, like the max feed rate for this machine is 300 inch per minute. That's it. I mean, with tooling technology there is nowadays, I have to purposely slow down tools because the technology of tools has far surpassed the capabilities of this machine. All right, there is some tools that I have ran that are supposed to be ran at 12,000 RPM and say 12,000 inch per tooth. That calls for like a 294 inch per minute not rapid, cutting feed. For this, it's a rapid, almost, because the rapids on this is 710, but it ain't going to keep up with that 294 because the processing speed on this, yeah, it's 1,000 blocks a second because it's the upgraded version. Still ain't going to keep up with it. In fact, where some machines that are old like this will stutter and still keep going, this girl, she's doing a quiet retire and literally just stopping where you're at and just spinning and saying, I quit. Now you're probably asking, does he regret his decision? Simple? No. I mean, she's consistent. I've held tolerances of a half thou in her, no problem. I mean, for a machine that has no payment, I'll deal with the faults. All right. I mean, we've ran everything from copper doing plate work, aluminum, jig plates, fixture plates. We've done aluminum parts and medical. We've done steel parts. We've done precipitation hardened steel, 4140, 4340, heat treated, of course, aluminum. But the thing is, taking the experiences with this machine and moving forward, for us, like getting a lathe, we're going to be looking at newer machines that have capabilities to be competitive. Okay? Because in this game, time is money. Okay? And having technology that is ever expanding, you got to keep up with it. All right? Because again, time is money and minutes add up in dollar signs. So if you're on the fence about buying a new or used machine, hopefully this video gives you some insight and helps you make a calculated decision for your business. But at the end of the day, when you're a new shop and creating your customer base, not having a machine payment feels amazing. Okay? So if there's anything that you guys can think of that you would like Ian, Becca, or myself cover in our upcoming videos, comment below. And also like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you guys don't miss any of future episodes. All right. So, and thank you for watching this episode of Becoming a Practical Machinist, and I'll catch you guys later. Take it easy.